I have selected someone for you. Their name is already placed within the path I have prepared beneath your steps. You have not seen it yet, but your spirit has already started to feel it. There is a reason your heart has felt unsettled in ways you could not understand. There is a reason certain prayers kept rising from a place deeper than your own thoughts could reach. I was awakening something. I was getting you ready. Do not turn away from what I am about to speak over your life. This is not a temporary moment. It is not something you will hear again in exactly this way. I am coming close to you now because you are standing near the entrance of a doorway that began forming long before you became aware of it. What is waiting beyond it is real. What is waiting beyond it carries meaning, and it belongs to you just as much as it belongs to them. I know you have questioned it. I know the quiet in your nights has sometimes felt heavier than you allowed anyone to notice. You have carried doubts about whether a lasting connection would ever reach you, or whether you would always remain outside of something your heart deeply wanted. I was not missing from those moments. I was there in every one of them, and I was already creating the answer while you were still trying to form the question. The person I am speaking about is not unknown to my plan. They are not someone who accidentally entered your future. I placed them within the design of your life long before either of you could understand it. And when your paths meet, something within you will know. Something calm. Something sure. Something that does not need to be loud in order to be trusted. It will rise inside your chest, like a breath you did not realize you were holding. And releasing it will feel more natural than anything you have known before. Declare your faith now. If this word has touched your spirit, you may have asked why certain things failed. You may have gone over old moments in your mind, looking for where everything changed, wondering whether you could have acted differently. I need you to understand this clearly. Those endings were not punishments. They were protection. I shut those doors because what waited behind them would not have held you in the way you needed. I did not remove those connections to leave you with emptiness. I removed them to create space. And now that space is being filled, not with something weak, not with something unsure, but with something that has already been tested in my hands before it ever enters yours. This person has passed through fires of their own. They have carried questions of their own, and the very things that formed them are the things that will help them meet you where you are without fear and without pulling away. I did not create this connection only for comfort. I created it for purpose. When you stand beside each other, something will change. Not only in your heart, but in the direction your life takes. You will look back at the paths you traveled, the valleys you believed would destroy you, and you will notice a line moving through all of it, one thread drawing you toward this exact moment. This is not something I arrange without care. I do not bring lives together without meaning. Every meeting, every loss, and every quiet season of endurance has been one stroke in a much greater picture. And now that picture is close to being complete. Not the ending of your story, but the opening of a chapter that will change how you understand every chapter before it. I know your first response may be to protect yourself. I know trust is not simple after everything you have carried. But listen when I tell you this. What I am bringing into your life now is not made from the same things that failed you in the past. This is different ground, and the foundation has already been proven. Remain with me. There is still more I must tell you, and what comes next will bring peace to places in your spirit that have remained unsettled for too long. The name connected to this person is not something you will have to search for. It will reach you. It will come in a way that causes your spirit to stop. Not because of fear, but because the recognition will feel so deep that it will seem as though you have always known it. Even when your mind says otherwise, you have been asking me for a sign. You have been speaking quiet prayers into the darkness, hoping something would return with understanding instead of silence. I am answering you now, but not in one complete moment, because that is not the way I work. I reveal things the same way morning light appears, slowly and gently, until what was hidden can no longer be overlooked. Do not move ahead of what I am doing. Do not attempt to create an outcome before the ground has been prepared. There is a difference between excitement and impatience, and I need you to remain on the side of trust. What belongs to you will not move past you. I am leading it straight toward you. But the timing belongs to me, and that timing is exact. I have watched you pass through seasons where you poured out more than you received. I have seen how carefully you protected hope even when nothing around you gave you a reason to keep it. That was not foolish. That was the sign of a spirit that continues to believe after everything. And that faith has not been ignored. It has been seen and it has been honored. And it is the very thing that has carried you here, to this exact place where what I am preparing is about to be seen. So listen carefully. Do not allow anything around you to pull your focus away from what I am saying. What I have kept for you is already moving, and the name joined to it is nearer than you realize. There is a reason I am not revealing the entire picture in one moment. If I placed everything before you at once, you would try to manage it. You would hold it tightly and try to shape it through your own understanding. But your understanding, even when it is sincere, is still shaped by what you have already experienced. I can see farther. I can see the complete path of what this is meant to become, and I am asking you to walk beside me into it one step at a time. The person I have chosen for your life is not traveling the same road you traveled before. They carry something different. Not according to the way the world judges difference, but according to the way your spirit will recognize it. There will be a stability within them that does not disappear when pressure arrives. And that stability is not something they created by themselves. It is something I formed in them, through all they have survived. You will hear it in the way they speak with you. Not loudly, not for attention, but with care and truth. You will see it in how they make room for your silence, without trying to quickly cover it, and you will feel it in the way your breathing becomes calmer when you are close to them. As though something within you has finally been allowed to rest. That is not chance. That is design. I need you to understand something about how I bring two people together. I do not connect appearances. I do not join what seems suitable on the outside, and leave everything within to uncertainty. I look beneath the surface. I see the broken places, the deep desires, and the areas where strength was formed through pain. And I match those hidden parts with someone whose own heart fits the spaces you carry. This is why it will feel unlike anything before. This is why it will feel right in a way no earlier connection ever did. Say it out loud. Say, I believe. If your heart is receiving what I am speaking, there have been relationships in your past that left you empty. You gave openly, and what returned was silence, uncertainty, or promises that never matched actions. You learned to study people carefully because trusting had hurt you before. I watched it happen. I saw the walls rise. I did not judge you for building them, but now I am asking you to let me pass through them, because what I am bringing needs an open entrance, not a sealed one. This does not mean you leave wisdom behind. It means you allow trust to stand where fear once kept watch. I am not asking you to act without care. I am asking you to remain open. There is a great difference between those two things, and I need you to choose openness. The gate does not have to open completely in one moment. It only needs to be unlocked. And my hand is already resting on it. The name coming toward you will arrive without pressure. You will not need to hunt for it. It will enter your awareness like a word you have tried to remember for days, and then suddenly, without effort, it appears. That is how I work. I do not force. I uncover, and what I uncover carries certainty because it was never unsure from the beginning. Notice what repeats. Notice what keeps coming back into your mind even when you did not call for it. This is not your thoughts deceiving you. This is me directing you. I place signs along your road the way water slowly leaves its mark on stone. Not through force, but through steady movement until the pattern becomes clear. You are nearer to this than you believe. And the space between where you stand and where this connection starts is not counted in months or years. It is counted in readiness. When your heart reaches the place I have been preparing, the door will open. Not little by little, not partly, completely. There is another matter I want to speak about, because I know it remains in the back of your thoughts, even when you try to ignore it. You have asked yourself if you deserve this. You have looked back at your life and wondered whether someone like you could truly receive something this meaningful. I need you to hear this without confusion. Your history does not remove you from my plan. The wrong choices you made do not cancel what I wrote for your future. I am not holding those things against you. I have already let them go. The question is whether you are willing to let them go as well. Release the judgment you have spoken over yourself. It does not have my name on it. I did not write it, and it has no power over what I am preparing to do in your life. You are worthy of this, not because you worked for it, but because I said so. And what I say does not change because of the opinions of people who never knew the whole story. This person will not come asking you to prove your value. They will not place your past on a scale and decide whether you are enough. That is not how I formed them to look at you. They will see you as I do, with understanding that reaches below the surface, with patience that does not pull away from what is real and imperfect. And in that place between two people who no longer pretend, something true will begin to grow. I am speaking this now because the ground is nearly prepared. What has been worked on in private is about to appear in the open. And when it does, I do not want you watching from far away because of fear. I want you near. I want you present. I want you prepared to receive it with open hands instead of guarded arms. The season of holding back is over. The season of moving forward has begun. You have spent long periods making yourself smaller so other people could remain comfortable. You changed your words, hid your needs, and silenced your own voice to protect peace in places where real peace never existed. I saw every part of it. I saw what it cost you. And I am telling you now that the person coming into your life will not demand that you become smaller. They will not ask you to hide the full truth of who you are. They will not need you to act like a version of yourself that is easier to control. When you speak, they will hear you. When you become quiet, they will remain. This is what happens when I form a connection, instead of leaving it to chance. There is a place inside you that already knows this is true. You can feel it moving beneath your doubt, beneath your questions, beneath the habit of protecting yourself from being hurt again. That movement is not fear. It is expectation. Your spirit understands what your mind has not fully understood yet. And this is why I am asking you to trust what you sense before you are able to explain it. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight, upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the harvest I am preparing. I have been moving in places you could not see, behind closed doors, beneath conversations that failed, and inside the silence that sometimes felt like rejection. I was there. I was not doing nothing. I was clearing away what had to leave, and making stronger what needed to stay. Your life is not without order. The people who walked away were not meaningless losses. They were departures I allowed because their time in your story had ended. And this new season, the one you are entering now, needs another kind of foundation. It needs two people who have been shaped, not two people who simply met by chance. That is the difference between what I create and what the world gives. What I create remains. What I create survives. And what I am forming between you, And this person is meant to continue past the first hard season, past the first conflict, and past the first moment when the early excitement becomes part of ordinary life. You may notice a change in the days ahead. At first, it may seem small, a name that draws your attention, a face that stays in your thoughts longer than expected, a conversation that remains with you many hours after it finishes. These are not interruptions, they are signs. I place them along your way so that when everything becomes clear, you will remember that I was guiding you toward it from the beginning. Do not ignore what feels important. Do not dismiss the moments that cause your spirit to become still. Those moments of stillness are not random. They are invitations to look more closely, to listen with greater care, and to notice things in ways you were not used to noticing before. I am making your awareness sharper, because what is coming will require you to know it when it appears. And knowing requires a spirit that is awake, not weakened by distraction or covered by doubt. There is a difference between wishing for something and being ready to receive it. Hope matters, but readiness is necessary. I have been bringing you into the right place without you fully knowing it. The changes inside you, the new priorities, the loss of interest in things that once held all your attention. Every part of that belongs to my preparation. You are being brought into alignment, and alignment is not always comfortable. It asks you to release things you once held closely. But what is waiting beyond that release is far more valuable than what you are being asked to leave behind. I promise you this, not through empty speech, but through the full authority of who I am. What I am bringing into your life will show its truth over time, and you will not need to defend it or explain it. It will speak for itself. I know you are hearing me. I know something inside you has remained in this moment. That is because this message was not meant to move past you without effect. It was meant to settle, and it has settled. Now keep hold of it. Do not allow tomorrow's noise to silence what I have spoken to you in this moment. The ground under your feet is changing, and this is not a reason to be afraid. It is a reason to be prepared. When land has been broken open and watered, the movement in the soil is not ruin. It is the beginning of new life. That is what is taking place in you now. I have been turning the soil of your heart, opening the hard areas, and softening what disappointment had made firm. And now something new is beginning to rise. You cannot yet see its complete form, but you can feel it pressing upward. That quiet feeling that something is about to move. That is not false hope. That is my hand working where you cannot see. And I do not plant anything that I do not plan to bring into harvest. So remain grounded in what I have told you. Let it support you when the waiting feels too long. Let it calm you when doubt tries to tell you that nothing is changing. Something is changing, and it is nearer than the distance between one breath and the next. There is something else. The person whose name is moving toward you has already been touched by my hand. They do not understand everything I am doing, just as you do not understand everything yet. But they have felt the same movement. They have noticed that something is changing in their own life. Even if they cannot explain it, both of you are being pulled toward the same unseen center. And that center is my purpose for the life you will share. My child, I need to speak about the burden of impatience, because it is one of the strongest enemies of what I am creating. You have lived in a world that values speed. Everything around you moves fast, and you have been taught to believe that if something does not happen quickly, then nothing is happening. But I do not move according to that schedule. My actions are careful. My plans are exact. And what I am preparing for you cannot be hurried without losing part of what it is meant to become. When the name reaches you, it will not arrive with pressure or fear. It will arrive with calmness. And that calmness will be your sign. When something I have arranged comes into your life, it does not bring confusion. It brings a quietness that tells you this is true. This is settled. This belongs to me. Learn to know the difference, because the world will place many things before you that feel exciting but have no depth. What I am giving you will carry both peace and meaning. The person I have chosen for you has their own pattern, their own timing, and their own way of moving through life. And in the beginning, their pace may not always match yours. But this does not mean something is wrong. It means two separate paths are being joined into one, and that joining takes patience. You will not become one in a single night. You will not fully understand each other after the first talk. But through every truthful conversation, and every open moment treated with care, something lasting will begin to grow between you. I am not handing you something already complete. I am giving you a relationship that will be formed with time, and that forming will need effort, but it will not demand that you become exhausted. There is a difference between putting effort into something meaningful and fighting to keep alive something that was never meant to continue. This connection will not feel like you are only trying to survive. It will feel like you are growing. You have felt the difference before. You have stood in places where it seemed difficult to breathe, where every word had to be measured because you feared it might be misunderstood or turned against you. That is not what is coming. What is coming will feel like stepping into fresh air after staying inside a closed space for too long. You will breathe in a new way. You will speak in a new way. Not because you are acting, but because for the first time in a long time, you will feel safe enough to lower your guard. I know what safety means to you. I know you do not use that word without care. You have been in places where safety was spoken about but never truly given, where those who should have protected you became the cause of your deepest pain. I know all of this, and I am telling you now that what I am preparing is not another version of that same pattern. It is the end of that pattern. This person will not try to control you. They will not turn your openness into a weapon. They will answer your honesty with honesty of their own. And through that exchange, something will be created that neither of you could have made alone. That is how my design works. It does not make either person smaller. It causes both to grow. You may ask how you will know for sure. You may be afraid because your judgment was wrong before, and you think it could fail again. I understand that concern, but hear me. Your judgment was limited before because in those moments, you were moving without my direction. This time will not be the same. I am going before you. I am preparing the road before your feet ever touch it. The understanding you need will not come from studying every small detail. It will come through a deep, steady peace that does not fight within itself. When that peace comes, and you will not need another person to prove it to you, I will be your proof. My presence in that moment will be clear. Do not search for perfection in this person. Perfection is not what I promised, and it is not what you require. What you need is someone willing to be present each day with honesty and purpose. Someone whose flaws do not make you afraid, but remind you that what is real has always mattered more than what only looks good. That is what I am placing in your life. Not someone without flaws, but someone who is faithful. And real faithfulness is more uncommon than you understand. It is not something the world teaches very well, but it is something I have formed in this person through difficult seasons of their own. They have learned what it costs to remain when walking away would be easier. And that lesson will shape the way they stand with you. There will be moments in this connection when old wounds try to speak louder than the new truth. Old habits of doubt, of questioning everything, of preparing to be hurt. When those moments come, and they will, do not allow them to control you. Notice them, then put them down. They belong to a chapter that is ending. They have no place at the table I am setting. I am not only creating something between you and this person. I am restoring something inside you, a trust in yourself that was wounded long before any relationship ended. A belief that you can be loved without conditions, without pretending, without the tiring work of earning what should be freely given. That belief is coming back, and it is coming back because I am rebuilding it with my own hands. You will look back on this time of preparation and understand that it was not punishment hidden inside waiting. It was construction. I was placing foundations where you could not see them, building support through your character, filling the cracks left by people who treated your heart without care. None of that work happened by chance. None of it was hurried. And when what I have been building finally becomes clear to you, you will know it was worth every uncertain moment you faced while I was working. There is a kind of love the world praises loudly, the kind that shines at the beginning and disappears after a short time. That is not what I am bringing into your life. What I am bringing moves in quiet ways. It does not need people watching. It does not need praise or attention. It shows itself in ordinary moments, in the way someone remembers what you said 3 weeks earlier and mentions it because it mattered. In the way they notice even a small change in your voice. In the way they stay in the room when a conversation becomes hard instead of leaving. That kind of love may not look exciting, but it lasts. And it is the kind that will carry you through seasons that test everything. I do not create connections that only survive easy days. I create connections that remain strong during hard ones. And that is exactly what this will be. I want you to stop judging what is coming by what failed before. You often use the past to measure the future, and that has kept you smaller than I intended you to be. The past was not a picture of what was coming. It was a road you had to pass through. You moved through it, and it changed you. And now you are not the same. The person you were during those moments is not the person standing here and listening to me now. You are stronger. You are more truthful with yourself. You have learned to ask difficult questions and remain with answers that are not easy. These are not little changes. They are signs of someone who passed through fire and came out with greater understanding than they had before. I honor this in you. And I am joining it with someone who carries the same kind of understanding gained through hardship. The name may not reach you in the way you expect. It may come through a voice you were hardly noticing. It may appear in a moment so normal that you almost miss it. But something within you will catch it. Something inside you will keep hold of it. Like your hand reaching for something that is falling before your mind understands what it is. That response is not random. I placed it inside you, and I made it sharper through everything you experienced. When it happens, do not resist it. Do not question it so much that it loses its form. Allow it to rest in your spirit like rain on dry land, sinking slowly and reaching the places that need it most. Understanding does not always arrive at once. Sometimes it comes one layer at a time, and the first layer is simply recognition. Knowing that what you have just experienced is important. Knowing it did not happen by chance. Knowing that something beyond your own reasoning placed it directly before you. I did not lead you this far only to leave you uncertain at the final stage. I complete what I begin. What I start, I bring to its full ending. And this word I have spoken over your life is not unfinished. It is already fully formed. It is waiting for the moment when both you and this person are standing exactly where you are meant to stand. That moment is close. The preparation is almost finished. Not only for you, but for them too. They have been walking their own path of growth, carrying their own questions and facing their own trials. And they have remained faithful through it just as you have. When two people who have been shaped separately are finally joined, what forms between them is not weak. It is made strong. There is a picture I want you to keep in your mind. Two rivers moving through different valleys for many years, each making its own path through stone and earth. They did not know they were moving toward the same place. They could not see one another. But the land was shaped so that one day, without fail, they would meet. And when they meet, the current becomes stronger than either river could have become alone. That is what I am doing with your life and theirs. Two separate paths, each meaningful, each needed, joining into one stream that carries a strength neither of you could have created alone. You will feel that strength not as control, but as flow, not as pressure, but as forward movement. And it will carry both of you into things you have not yet imagined. I want you to understand what this connection will ask from you. It will not ask you to perform or prove that you belong, but it will ask you to be present, fully present, not hiding behind old protection, not speaking through practiced versions of yourself, but standing openly as you are and trusting that you are enough. At first, that will feel strange. You have spent so much time carefully controlling how others see you, that simply being your true self may feel like the most open and vulnerable thing I have ever asked you to do. But it will also bring the greatest freedom. And once you experience that freedom, you will not want to return to pretending. You will wonder why you ever believed acting was safer when being known, truly known, is the only thing that ever gave your spirit rest. There is a difference between someone admiring you from far away and someone loving you closely. And I am giving you the second kind. The kind that does not ask you to protect an image. The kind that continues to hold you when the image disappears. I am not done speaking yet. There is still more you need to hear before I finish. Stay near. Keep your heart open. What I am about to tell you will reach the places where your deepest questions remain, and it will begin to answer them in ways you were not expecting. You were not created to move through life wondering whether anyone truly sees you. You were created to be fully known without shame. And that is what I am placing into your hands. Not a shallow reflection that only shows you what you wish to see, but a steady person who reflects the truth of who you are and loves what they see there. There have been seasons in your life that seem to exist only to test whether you would fall apart. Some of those seasons felt endless, as if they had no reason except to make you tired. But now I want you to look at them differently. Those seasons were not wasted. They were the heat. They were the pressure that changed loose sand into something firm, and the person you became through them is exactly the person who is ready for what I am now placing before you. I do not waste hardship. I never have. Every painful season you survived was forming something inside you that comfort alone could never have created. Strength, wisdom, and the ability to love without first demanding proof that you are safe. You may not recognize those things in yourself yet, but I see them clearly. And the person whose name is coming toward you will see them too. This connection will not be formed through pretending. It will not be built on the version of yourself you show when you are trying to impress others. It will be built on truth, on the plain, unrehearsed version of who you really are. And that is the version I love most. That is the version I have been shaping. Not so you can become acceptable to someone else, but so you can accept yourself deeply enough that when someone truly sees you, you do not pull away. You have spent too many years pulling away. You stepped back when someone came near. You changed the subject when conversations reached the parts that mattered most. I know why. Those places were once left unprotected, and the people who entered them did not handle them with care. But this time I am guarding the entrance. No one will enter those holy places unless I have prepared them to respect what they find. Speak your agreement if you feel this truth settling inside your spirit. I want to tell you how this person will love you. It will not always be dramatic. It will not always sound beautiful, but it will remain steady. And steadiness is what has been missing from your life for longer than you want to admit. You have known people who came with promises and left with reasons. That pattern is ending now. What I am bringing is someone who understands that love is not measured through large moments, but through everyday choices. The choice to stay truthful. The choice to remain gentle when frustration comes. The choice to keep building even when progress feels slow. Those are the choices that keep a life together. And this person has been learning how to make them just as you have. Neither of you will enter this connection without preparation. Both of you have been walking toward it through your own fires. And when you meet, the recognition will not need a long explanation. It will simply be understood. There will also be a purpose greater than the two of you. This connection does not stand alone. It belongs to something larger that I am doing. Something that will touch the people around you in ways you cannot yet see. When two people walk in agreement with me, the result does not remain inside their own home. It moves outward. It affects others. It creates a steadiness that people are drawn toward. Not because it is loud, but because it is true. Those around you will feel the difference, even if they cannot explain it. They will notice that something has changed in the atmosphere of your life. You have always wanted your life to mean something beyond yourself. You have carried that desire quietly, sometimes wondering if it was too great or impossible. It is neither. It is the purpose I placed within you, and the person I am bringing will carry that same purpose. Together, you will create something that lasts beyond this moment, something that leaves a sign on the ground where you walk. I am not asking you to understand every detail of that future today. I am asking you to trust that the first step is the person I am showing you. Everything else will follow from there. The name is coming. The moment is coming. And when it appears, you will not question it because something inside you will already know this is what you were being prepared for. You have lived with questions that never seemed to receive answers. You have carried desires that felt too deep to speak aloud. I heard each one. I held each one. And now I am beginning to answer them in ways you will know came from me. Not loudly, not in an overwhelming way, but with clear certainty. I created you for this moment. I led you through fires that were meant to shape you, not destroy you. I allowed losses that were meant to create room, not leave you empty. And I carried you through quiet seasons that were meant to sharpen your hearing, not punish you with distance. Every thread is connected. Every part belongs. And the picture taking shape is more beautiful than you have allowed yourself to believe. Do not fear what you are feeling in this moment. Whether it is hope, uncertainty, or a strange mix of both, all of it belongs to the process. I do not need you to enter this moment with perfect faith. I only need you to enter it with willingness. Willingness to trust me once again. Willingness to believe my words are not empty. Willingness to open the door when I come near. Even if your hands shake as you reach for the handle, it is enough. Your willingness is enough. I will take care of everything else. I have been taking care of everything else from the beginning. And I will not stop now. Not when you are this near to what I have been preparing. Not when the space between the promise and its fulfillment has never been smaller than it is in this moment. My child, as I bring these words toward their end, I want you to understand that everything I have spoken carries a clear purpose. Nothing was added without reason. Nothing was empty. Every sentence was placed with the same care I use when I put the stars in their places and guide rivers along their paths. You were never an afterthought in my plan, and neither is this connection I am bringing into your life. The name is near now, nearer than it was when I first started speaking to you. And I want you to understand that when it arrives, it will not feel like a stranger entering your life. It will feel like something coming back, like a word you had forgotten until you heard it spoken again, like a song that remained quietly inside your mind, but never had the chance to rise until now. That is because this has always belonged to your story. It was written before you knew how to read. It was decided before you knew how to choose. And it has been guarded through every storm that tried to remove it. Nothing, no failure, no mistake, no wrong direction has been powerful enough to cancel what I declared over your life before it started. You have questioned yourself more times than you can remember. You have looked at your reflection and wondered whether what you saw deserved the kind of love that remains. I am telling you now for the final time in this message that the answer is yes. Not because you are without mistakes, but because I do not judge worth the way the world does. I judge it by what I placed within you, and what I placed within you has never become less. No matter what tried to hide it, The person I am bringing will see what I see. Not completely, because they are human and their vision has limits. But they will see enough. They will notice the depth in you that others move past too quickly. They will recognize the strength in you that others confused with silence. They will treasure the parts of you that were ignored for so long that you nearly forgot they were there. And when you are seen in that way, something inside you will wake up after sleeping for far too long. You do not need to force that awakening. It will happen naturally, like land becoming warm after a long season of cold. One day the frost gives way, and what was hidden begins to rise through the ground again. That is what is taking place in your life now. Even while you hear these words, I want you to carry this truth into the days ahead. When doubt comes back, and it will, remember what I have told you, not as a weak memory, but as a firm place you can hold on to when the waters become difficult. This word is not weak. It does not disappear under pressure. It remains because I stand behind it, and I do not change. There will be moments when the waiting feels too heavy. There will be moments when the silence between this promise and its fulfillment seems far too long. During those moments, do not decide that I have forgotten you. Decide instead that I am still working. That the same hands that began this are still forming it, still shaping it, still bringing it to the exact place where it will arrive with the greatest effect and the least confusion. I do not give things too soon. I do not give them too late. I bring them at the exact moment when they can be received fully and valued deeply. And the timing of this connection is being arranged with the same care I use to keep all creation in balance. You are not alone. You have never been alone, even when the silence made you believe otherwise. I was inside the silence. I was inside the waiting. I was inside the questions you could not answer, and the prayers you could not complete. I was in every part of it, working, arranging, preparing. And I am in this moment also, right here speaking to you with a clearness that I do not give without reason. I am giving it because the time requires it, and because your heart is prepared to receive it. The connection coming to you will not remove your past, but it will place your past where it belongs behind you. It will not repair everything in one night, but it will give you someone beside you in the work of creating something meaningful. And that partnership, built on trust, shaped through growth, and held by my hand, will be stronger than anything either of you has known before. When the name arrives, receive it. Do not think about it too much. Do not push it away. Do not search for reasons why it cannot be true. Simply keep it. Allow it to settle. Allow it to grow roots, and then watch as everything I promise starts to open before you. One step at a time, one day at a time, one choice of trust at a time. I have loved you through all of it. I have carried you through all of it. And now I am leading you into something new. Not because you reached perfection, but because my plan for your life has always contained this moment. Move forward with confidence. Move forward with your heart open, knowing that what I prepared for you is already moving toward you from the other side. The ground is ready. The season has changed. The name is close. And when it settles in your spirit, you will know without doubt that this was always meant for you. Go now with my peace upon you. Go with the confidence that what I have started cannot be stopped by any power, and go knowing that the one I selected for you is already coming closer. You are ready. You may not feel prepared, but readiness is not an emotion. It is a position. And I have brought you into that position through every step you took to reach this moment. You are standing exactly where you need to stand. And the person I selected is standing exactly where they need to stand. The only thing remaining is the moment when I bring you together. And that moment has already been written. Declare your amen if you accept everything I have spoken over your life today. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.